Welcome to you, Dr. Major, and thanks for joining us on Breakfast Central.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, viewers.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to extend our congratulations to you, but some have claimed you're the factional chairman. The Kwankwaso faction says that your election as NNPP chairman is illegitimate. How do you respond to this allegations? And of course, the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Mr. Agbo Johnson, just left the studio now, and he also alludes to that your election is illegitimate. How do you respond to these allegations?
It's always very interesting listening to the likes of Agbo Johnson. The most unfortunate thing is that most times he speaks from the position of ignorance, crass ignorance. When you do not know how the system works and you come to say what is not real, you are misinforming the public. I wouldn't want to join issues with him like I've always insisted. I have no business joining issues with Agbo Johnson because, like he rightly said, we met in 2022, we've been friends, we already know ourselves. And I won't join issues personally with him. I will only speak on the party. I won't react to his allusion that the convention that we just had is illegal. I won't say anything about that. The only thing I can tell you is that as media people, of course, you know the procedure, that leads to the convergence of a convention. Exactly what we followed. The normal thing is you get INEC informed, get party stakeholders from across the 36 states and FCT, into a chosen place. Of course, a convention by the provisions of the law could hold in any part of the country. And traditionally, we have always had Lagos as our convention home because the party's offshoot is in Lagos. The party started from Lagos, where it was founded by Dr. Anebunam using his other sister agency called National Association of Government Approved Freight Forwarders. So we have had our convention in line with the provisions of the recently delivered Abia High Court judgment, And it could be more disturbing when you see people who claim to be lawyers casting aspersions on their colleagues in the Temple of Justice. You can imagine somebody who says a lawyer coming on air to say that a judge was misled. I'm not sure there's any judge in this country that is as cheap as that. The issues were properly canvassed, and then the position was taken by the courts, and the position was simple. INEC, this order is on you. Hand this party over to its board of trustees led by Dr. Boniface Okechukwu and Nebula. It's a specific order. I think their worry is that they haven't been able to find an opening into this matter. They don't even know where to start from because they have no locus to go to any form of appeal against this matter. I think that should be their worries. I can understand their pains. Now, the convention that was held culminated what started from the wards. We had started from the wards through the local government, the states, and then the zonal, before they got an interim injunction, like he rightly said, from an FCT High Court. And in our usual way of maintaining total respect for rule of law, we suspended it. And I'm sure he also mentioned that while he was on air. We suspended the convention. And when the matter started in earnest, of course, I've been going to court. I have never seen him. He says he's a lawyer, and he also says he's a member of NNPP or something like that. And of course, it's not. I've never seen him in court. So he's not even in the position to discuss on air the situation in the court. He's only acting on what they have told him, which is not correct. The only way you can take true position on issues is if you are part of the unveiling of those issues. So like I said, that convention, whether anybody likes it or not, can never be faulted. All relevant submissions have been made to INEC. All relevant submissions prior to the convention were made to INEC. All relevant submissions following the conclusion of the whole process has also been made to INEC. So I can understand Ladipo's difficulties. As far as we are concerned, it's only the media that continues to give them opportunity to come and say things that are misleading Nigerians. Otherwise, these are not members of our party. It's funny to hear him say that Rabi Musa Kwankwaso is a member of NNPP or something like that. He doesn't even understand what he's saying. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso ceased to be a member of NNPP precisely on the 29th of August 2023. And since then, the media is well aware of this. And the recent convention, which was held in Lagos over the weekend, ratified that decision. So it's done and gone for good. Unfortunately, they don't know what is even in their minds of their organ. This man is already looking for where to pitch tent. I heard him talk about a lot of things going on. Where? Is it only the meeting? The only meeting that Kwankwaso has had is the one with Agbo Major. These are two spent forces. Two spent forces. Why is he not in the coalition talks? Because nobody trusts him. Why is he not in other serious talks that are going on? Because nobody has that trust on him. So please, I respect elders. Ladipo Johnson does not. I don't want to discuss anything further, like I said, on any person in particular. I'm only speaking as the chairman of NNPP, and I'm speaking from a well-informed position.
All right, can you speak to some of the statements that Mr. Ladipo Johnson had spoken about? One, he said that the court judgment you got from the court in Abia, that when you went to the court, you did not present full information to the court. For example, you even went with an old logo that no longer represented the logo of the party. He also mentioned that you failed to mention to the court that there was already an existing court judgment that had said that you were no longer a member of the party. So can you please speak to that?
Oh, yes, very interesting. Ladipo Johnson will continue to expose his ignorance. First, let me take it from the angle of the logo. He is aware, of course, they will never tell Nigerians. When they initiated the moves to change the party's logo, we went to court. Concerned party members went to court. We went to court because we didn't see any reason why we should exchange words with anybody. What we needed was for the court to be part of what was going to happen in the party. Went to court. All relevant papers, all relevant court documents were served on them and also served on INEC. That was enough to put off that action that was about to be taken. That was enough to put it off. But they still went ahead in their usual way of flagrantly abusing court positions, despite the fact that they knew that the matter was alive on that move. They still went ahead to do what they did. So in the face of the law, we do not recognize any other logo other than the logo with which the party was registered 24 years ago. Even if INEC is manifesting their so-called logo, which belongs to somebody's private school in Metama, I am telling you that that is a faulty decision that will never stand the test of time. Party is about people. They take decisions on what they want. They take decisions on what logo to keep. They take decisions on what uniforms to wear. They take decisions on what colors to maintain. So I am telling you that what Ladipo Johnson and his co-travelers taking direct instructions from Kwankwaso have done is not only illegal, but was not even permissible in view of the fact that the matter was alive in court. That's number one. Okay. So the party has no other logo other than its basket of fruits on the Nigerian map. That's number one. Number two, he said we went to Abia High Court and misled the court. That's funny. And he's a lawyer. That's the most interesting thing of it all. Unfortunately, some of them who says they are lawyers, what they do is to continue to work to bring down the fame and respect of the legal profession. Otherwise, why are you casting aspersions on your colleague who has delivered a judgment from a very informed legal position? Instead of you to go quietly back to the court and find out what to do, what you do is to go on there, put your colleague, a judge, a revered judge, on media trial. Like I said, the matter is still alive there. I don't like commenting on issues that are still alive in court. But if Ladipo Johnson thinks the court was misled, it's not a problem. The courtroom is still there. He could walk back there or ask his lawyers to go there and prove that the court was misled. What about the so-called injunction he's talking about? What happened? I won't talk about it because it is also a matter that is alive. Otherwise, I want you to walk to that court and find out if we were listened to before that injunction was granted.
Okay, Dr.
I don't know if you are getting what I'm talking about.
Yes, Dr.
So what we are saying is that for me, it is always a waste of time coming to join issues with Ladipo Johnson because, of course, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And there's this proverb that says that if a corpse is buried while you are not there, in trying to exhume it, you would end up exhuming it to the wrong side. It's unfortunate that we have people like Ladipo Johnson still speaking for the NNPP, and you media people are giving them opportunity to speak.
Now, Dr. Major, I want to come in here, Dr. Major. If someone claims that Party A claims it's raining and Party B claims it's not raining, our jobs as journalists is to go outside and confirm if it's raining. And that brings me to this question. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is the body in charge of conducting elections in Nigeria and also announcing results. As we speak, as at this moment, if we go to the INEC website, it still has Dr. Ajuji Ahmed as the national chairman of the NNPP. So what steps are you taking to unify the party and also ensure legitimacy with INEC so we stop having this back and forth?
Instead of canvassing their position from very strong perspectives, they always say INEC, INEC, INEC. They do not know. I have been a party administrator for as much as 22 years without a break. I know how INEC works. At every point in time, what they have is what they have. When it changes, it has changed. The truth about it is that the Abia High Court judgment is a compelling judgment on INEC to effect changes and ensure that my name reflects as a national chairman on their website. Of course, in their usual way of trying to truncate what is real and what is genuine, they have tried to run around INEC. They've also tried to run to the court in Abia, where they understand that they are either asking the judge to take back his judgment or maybe grant them a leave to appeal. I don't know what exactly they are canvassing. They have maybe, by the time I interact with our lawyers, I will know exactly what they are looking for. But what I'm saying is that INEC, at the appropriate time, will do what it needs to do, because the judgment says the board of trustees of the party led by Dr. Boniface and Ebunam should activate through conduct of congresses all other organs of the party that the party requires to function effectively. And that was what was concluded in Lagos over the weekend. And so the only thing I can tell you is that in the face of the law and based on the provisions of that judgment, we have done our bit. The BOT has finished this job. It has brought us back as leaders of the party, myself as chairman, through a properly and well coordinated and conducted and transparent election. It is now left for INEC. Remember that the process just ended over the weekend, and we are expecting that in due time, just very short period from now, the names that Ladipo Johnson is talking about on the INEC website, those names will no longer be there. That I can assure you.
Let's speak about the leadership of Rabiu Kwankwaso. First of all, why did your party expel Rabiu Kwankwaso, and how do you think that you offer better leadership in this case?
Well, Rabiu Kwankwaso came in with a lot of things that were alien to the party. He introduced massive corruption, you know, and I can itemize that. I can tell you that he brought a working arrangement that was no longer transparent. Our party was never known for that. Our party has always been known for transparency. Everybody is on board, no matter how disadvantaged you are. You are on board in decision making. You are also on board in contests for tickets to be able to run for elections and all of that. But when he came, he decided to close all those chances, maybe because we allowed him to be presidential candidate and he was then the leader of the party, because by virtue of being the ticket holder. He did a lot of things that we have continued to let Nigerians know. Imposed candidates from the comfort of his bedroom, moved the situation room where candidates were to be uploaded from. He moved it to his house in Metama and was uploading people that he wanted, shut out those who even went through proper primaries. Now, of course, any issue that is under investigation or trial, I don't talk about it. But let me just mention it at the surface. Of course, you have been following the situation, and you know that as I speak to you now, the accounts of NNPP, including his campaign accounts and all of that, are under censoring by the EFCC. I understand that any moment from now, yes, the action would be carried out. Investigation is almost at the 60% completion level, and Nigerians will be made to know what exactly is happening. So we had a lot of things that went awry. A lot of things went bad under his leadership as the then presidential candidate. All these things and many more were the things that made us to say, no, these things are not in line with the agreement, the MOU we had with you. Not even you, the Kwankwaso movement. We had an MOU written and signed with the Kwankwaso movement and the TNM. The TNM died shortly after that MOU was signed because it's a collection of serious-minded Nigerians that were not in for the joke that was to be perpetrated by Kwankwaso. So they were never in for that. And they had to walk away honorably to go and do other things. That TNM is dead. If you look at the MOU we're talking about, which is dead now, it is a tripartite MOU between us, the TNM, and the Kwankwaso movement. The only thing is that Kwankwaso is the leader, according to them, of the Kwankwaso movement. But he usurped the authority of the movement and then imposed himself and then presented himself as the one who is Kwankwaso personified. And he decided to do a lot of things, terrible things that were unfathomable, terrible things that were unimaginable, terrible things that dented the image of our party. And so in that situation, what do you do to salvage an organization? It is to get the person out. Remember that before he was taken out, we gave him opportunity to explain. He refused to come in his usual arrogance. He refused to come. We gave him another opportunity. He refused to come. The governor himself. And then the normal thing as contained in our constitution is to ask them out. And that's exactly what has happened. Kwankwaso remains expelled from the party. Buba Galadima expelled. Dr. Ajuji, all these people expelled. Very soon, their mouths will be closed. The courts are on it. That I can tell you.
Dr. Agbo Major, still talking about the Kwankwaso group, they've accused you of working with the APC to undermine the NNPP, especially concerning Kano politics. They said when the case of the Kano State governor was in the Supreme Court, you aligned with the APC and you walked against the Kano State governor, Abba Yusuf. How do you respond to these allegations of working in tandem with the ruling All Progressive Congress?
These allegations are born out of sheer mischief, but if I don't respond to it at the surface, it will look like I just don't want to talk about it. But I won't dwell much on it. I can tell you that Ladipo Johnson and his cohorts are, the agents of destabilization that have been planted, or rather that were planted in the party before they were removed. Instead of accusing others of working with any other political party or any other individual to destabilize, how do we destabilize what we established and groomed for 22 years before they came? I mean, I'm asking you a question. How will you destroy a baby that you have given birth to and you have groomed for 22 years? Do you know what it takes for anybody to make such a careless allusion? I think that is why those watching us should know that whoever is saying that, including Ladipo Johnson, is not only mischievous, but is just speaking out of crass ignorance. The truth is that they have a man that sees himself as a demigod who wants to pocket Kano, who was doing things and is still doing things that are not in the interest of Kano people. Whatever we have done in our usual style of positive critique or positive criticism, whatever we have done is born out of that. We were only saying that Kano Emirate Council needed to be stable. If you look at the statement that was issued in respect of that he's talking about, you will see how civil and how tactical the statement was crafted. What we did was to advise Kano people to take their destiny in their hands and then decide on what they want, instead of allowing anybody, whether professor or whoever, to impose an emir on them.
Right.
Our statement is very clear. I have it. That's number one. That is number one.
If you can
number
wrap it
two,
up, we have 30 seconds. We need to wrap up now. If you can wrap it up.
Number two, they went into an election, or they were planning an election, and disenfranchised everybody. And what they wanted to do was to bring entirely Kwankwaso members to take over the 44 local government councils. And as the chairman of the party, I said, no, what we needed to do was to move to court. We went to the Federal High Court in Kano, where we defeated them. The court judged, the court gave a judgment that the candidates for that election are the candidates that emanated from the Agbo Major NNPP. Right. That is still hanging there. We're still pushing.
As we count down to 2027, the NNPP will have to put its house in order. So we look forward to seeing how all of this disagreement or maybe misunderstanding is being resolved by the NNPP. Thank you very much, Agbo Major, for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central. And we wish the NNPP all the best.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.